Hi, it's Karen at the Reading Corner. Today I'm going to go over one of my favorite activities, which is our flip and reads. If you have been watching our videos, I did a video on our literacy stories. So make sure you go on our website, and there's one on not only how to unpack a literacy story in the classroom or the homeschool environment, but also how to, there's an actual lesson of me doing it for your child, which is really fun. Basically, I wrote the literacy stories, and then one day I decided that I wanted to kind of make a different format. This is kind of for my 3-year-olds. And basically I liked it better because the sentence was right by the picture, and it wasn't like they were having to see all this text at one time and get overwhelmed by it. So my teachers really loved it because it was kind of, isolated the skill a little bit more. And then one day I decided to just cut them all up and make little books, and that's kind of how the flip and reads were developed. I love them because, number one, they're portable, which means you can take them in the car with you. You can put them in a sandwich bag if you have to go to another sibling's gymnastics or baseball or something like that and you want to keep your kids busy. I love them because they're easy for in the classroom. I use these in my guided reading. We have 5 different levels of them. So the nice thing is I can have a group of kids that might be on the same reading level, but still have some, one might really need to still see the 1 to 2 letters, whereas somebody else is ready to see a long sentence strand like this. So it's great for that because I can give them all their own little bin of the flip and reads, and they can have them really easy to do the warm-up reading. I like it also because when I was in the classroom doing guided reading, you want to have those books that they can read that they've already seen, but it's like keeping that organized gets so overwhelming. And the flip and reads are a really nice way of just keeping them in bins and giving them to the kids. I use it in tutoring as well because even if I have 3 or 4 kids that are all on a first grade level, they're all going to be on different levels. So they can be doing the same concept of the reading at the same time, but I know I've got them in books that are right on their level. My favorite thing about it though is a lot of times when we give the kids that simple repetitive text, that's to give them confidence and fluency in reading and learn their one-to-one correspondence and concepts of print and things like that. But what happens is they get familiar with it and they kind of use it as a crutch. So one day my daughter was reading a literacy story and she was like, "Look, Mom, I can read it without looking at it," because she had memorized the sentences. So what I did was the next time I went up to my computer, I wrote a literacy story that every different sentence was flipped. So the first time I gave it to her, she, sat down and was like, "I can see a pig." And then she's like, "I can," and she had to stop because now it said, "Did you see the cow?" And so she really had to pay attention to the words to make sure that she was reading the correct sight words. The great thing about these is especially in the higher ones, once they get comfortable with that repetitive text, you can take them apart and you can put them back together. So now they've got books, a little mini book that has a different sentence strand on every page, and it's really building that fluency. In my tutoring and even in my homeschool environment, I love to give them fidget spinners. I swore I was never going to use them because I have probably 1,000 of them with all my kids. But I really found that having that little, it's almost like a stopwatch for them. So I give them these and I have them, spin their fidget spinner and they see how many they can read before the fidget spinner stops, which really develops their fluency. So you can download these. The great thing about these as well, and this is, really the premise behind all of our activities, is I was a reading coach for several years, but I'm a mom of 5. So I really need things that are easy, I can get my hands on them, and they're affordable. So when I go to look for books for my child, if I went to the big publishers, those books were $5 or $6 a piece. And I really couldn't afford to get books like that, especially knowing that my kid's going to go up to the next level pretty quickly. And then I've got these gorgeous books that my kids, really only looked at for about a month or 2 because now they're up to the next reading level. So the great thing about these is you basically get 30 books for $30. So they're $1 a book, and the kids love them because they're portable and they're small. So make sure you watch our instructional video because I'm going to give you different ways of working with your child with these flip and reads. Thanks for joining me.